Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we stand on the precipice of podcasting history. This is Cory, and this is the Anthem podcast. I'm joined by...
That was super weak sauce. Super weak sauce.
We talked about this like immediately before we got into the podcast that I feel like every single week it's the same with me. I'm just like stumbling out the gate, so I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try and like liven it up a bit, give a little flair.
If we had Dawson, that was a nice intro for Dawson.
Yeah.
Come in and be like, well.
That's what we need. We need a voice up top just to be like...
Yeah, we'll have to find somebody to do that. Yeah. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody.
Someone with a good smoker's voice. I have a bad smoker's voice.
Yeah, you don't have that sexy smoker's voice.
No,
or the movie phone.
Though I feel like it's a little bit more grovelly today because last night at the Yankee game I was yelling and screaming and
pissing off the person in front of you.
and booing.
Right.
Pissing off the person behind me.
Behind you.
She's so fucking stupid.
Oh my.
Anyway,
fuck her right in the pussy. That's your intro right there.
That's for Aaron.
There you go. That's your intro.
Aaron enjoys that guy a lot.
Did you see the sign on the side of the road the person had programmed?
Yeah.
And the mother's like, I don't want to have to explain to my 6-year-old what that sign means. And I'm like, okay, so wait. We have to get rid of a funny joke because you don't want to have a 6-minute talk with your shitty kid. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Same argument for why guys and girls shouldn't kiss each other in public. I don't want to see your homosexual relationship because I don't want to have to explain that to my kid.
Oh, like guys kissing guys and girls kissing girls.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so wait. So they love each other and they're supposed to, like, squash that because you don't want to have a conversation with your shitty-ass kid.
Well, you see, I feel like what's good about... this is going to sound, like, really off point for a second, but trust me, it's coming along.
He's coming back. All right.
I'm coming back to it.
Yeah.
As a smoker, like, I've learned about, like, the social... Like, so much of, like, the social aspect of, like, get that away from me. Nobody wants to see that.
Right.
And, like, smokers have just sort of been, like, okay about it. Like, oh, okay, I'll go outside. Oh, okay, I'll go around the corner. I'll go in the alley.
I hate it.
Okay, I'll go on top of this building. Yeah. Like, wherever I have to go to not offend you is what smoking has become.
New York City, you have to be 50 feet from an entry of a door, so you're standing in the center of the street.
Yeah.
There's a little... the lines on the street aren't for the cars. It's, you can only smoke...
You're in a buoy in the middle of the Hudson. Just like fucking Bloomberg.
The things I have to do for
I hate this fucking guy. But
Lord knows you're not going to have a giant-ass Coke either.
Yeah.
You can't get that in the city.
Well, no, because that was overturned on appeal.
Woo!
So drink up, fatty.
I enjoy those sodas.
I drink soda like that, too. Not last week, 2 weeks ago, I was drinking out of a 2-liter, so I shouldn't speak.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were, weren't you? How about that?
Yeah, but good for the gay community for not being accepting of societal
and the
pressure.
Smokers shouldn't have been either.
No, smokers should have really just been like, go fuck yourself, and then smoke wherever they goddamn want.
To go off on something that's completely related but not, the open carry, the crazy ass open carry people.
Yeah,
too far on that particular topic.
Right.
Like, I'm a Second Amendment guy. Stand up for your rights. I'm with you. Don't take your AK to the grocery store.
See, but I feel what's really killing... I don't really have a position one way on guns. I mean,
right.
I'm fine with normal people having them, and I'm not fine with crazy people having them. I think that's a pretty reasonable right. expectation.
Yeah.
But I think that everybody who I see like parading it around is one of the crazy people who shouldn't be...
Well, no, I don't want to say that.
Shouldn't be upfront like about the...
I don't think that they're
crazy.
It's
my gun, you're going to take it from my cold dead hand. Like,
I don't think that they're crazy. I think that the anti-gun lobby... And here's what
I guess there's two different types of crazy, too.
Right.
There's crazy like...
This is my right, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, this is my right crazy, and then there's the, like, shoot up a hospital crazy.
Right. And the problem is that when I'm walking into Target and I see you have an AK... not in your hands, but strapped to the side of you, I don't know which crazy you are.
Right. That's a little off-putting.
And I mean, I'm a big advocate, and the argument I make for people is that the NRA, the anti-gun lobby has made the NRA what they are. They had to say we're drawing a line in the sand, no further, because the smokers are a great example. Yeah. You give a little bit. And then you give a little bit more, and you give a little bit more.
And then all of a sudden you're on a buoy in the Hudson.
Right. So they feel like they have to draw a line. Now, I'm a couple opening days ago when I was screaming at a cop about First Amendment rights, while drunk and cursing in front of a child, like, I'm a big amendment guy. I'm like, we're allowed to do this. You cannot interfere. And I feel the same way about the Second Amendment, but not to the...
Well, it's the usher you were screaming at, and then the police officer came, and then you explained what you
now
were
we
doing.
officially have crossed into the border of the police getting involved.
Right, and then you were just like, this is my First Amendment right, and if you want to open yourself up for a lawsuit, then feel free.
And that was my first win.
And he's just like, all right, well, I'll see you later.
The cop was like, I hear nothing here that I want to get involved in. Mr. Usher, can we reseat the Yankee fans?
I do not want to be involved in the court hearing for this.
Exactly right. But
why don't we just let the drunk kid be?
Exactly. And either the Yankees fans left or they resat them somewhere else. I don't know. But it was a win in my book. But I know, like I said, I'm the same way with
I hope they just kicked him out.
Maybe so. Yeah, fuck him.
Get out of here.
But no, I'm the same way with the Second Amendment. I just don't... I don't like...
But I came here to watch a baseball game. Fuck her right in the pussy.
Worked it in again.
Yeah.
That's what we call a callback. That's what we in the biz
in the
call
business.
A callback. But no, I feel the same way about the Second Amendment, but I do not like the idea that I don't know you and you're walking around a Target with an AK-47.
Yeah.
Would I feel better about it if I had a gun too? I probably would. Now, but that would make someone else uncomfortable, and we're not there as a country.
Yeah, but I'm not a gun guy because I don't really want to have a gun. I don't think I trust myself with a gun.
I do. I want one.
But like, let's say like I was at Target and I saw a guy with an AK, and I was just like, I had a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
And I had like my handgun on my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, all right, I feel if this guy goes nuts,
I got it.
I feel better about myself because I got a gun.
Right.
And I can protect myself. But then God knows I'm just going through the CDs because I still do that. And I'm just like...
Wait, do they even have CDs?
Yeah, they still have them.
Okay, all right, yeah, sure.
But I'm just like, going through the CDs and I'm just like, Demi Lovato for only $2.99? How does that even make sense? And all of a sudden I hear gunfire and I'm just like, shit! Like scrambling for my pistol. I kick it down the aisle. Some little girl picks it up.
That's why you should not have it. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I've told you
Dance,
before.
fucker!
I continually look for opportunities to be a hero. Like, I want that chance. Give me the chance where I can step in and do something. But the gun guy scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a gun. I'm going to throw the CD at him and then try to close the distance and tackle him.
Hey, fucker, give your heart a break.
Did you just make a Demi Lovato reference?
How do you know who Demi Lovato is? I have a 13-year-old daughter.
She's the reason I'm doing this. She is the reason that I'm doing this. I am concerned about the future of America.
I can't take it anymore.
Well, if I had a 13-year-old daughter, I'd probably feel that way. All right. Anyway, so
wow, we really
went off on a tangent.
We didn't even get out of the station. We were just immediately on a tangent.
Anyway, so
I feel like that's what gets us warmed up, though. Not the like good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, or any of that shit, or like we're standing on the precipice of podcast history, or
no,
whatever bullshit we come up with. It's just the
bullshit give and take.
The solid 8 minutes that we spent.
Sweet. Well,
bullshitting before we get into our topic at hand, which is...
Well, no. We got a lot of good news this week.
Yes.
Some good news about Toronto.
Yes. The love letter is officially in consideration, which is nice because Rob was on the phone with me when I was in the process of submitting it.
Yeah, that nonsense.
Yeah. Needless to say, it took a long time for it to the file to upload, and then it processed, and this, that, and the other.
And Cory waited until 11:56 to actually start the process.
No, I started way earlier than that.
What's way earlier?
Like
11:30.
8 o'clock.
No.
Yes.
Was it going for 4 hours when you called me?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But anyway,
we were up till 2:30 waiting for it to finish.
Oh, I know. But I was sitting there, and the file wasn't completely processed at 12 midnight, which was the deadline. And I was all kinds of worried that, for whatever reason, it wasn't going to be accepted.
Right.
Even though I had assurances from Without a Box and every other...
Start date.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I finally saw the little blue dot on Without a Box saying it's in consideration, so now it's just the waiting game. Middle of August, I hear back.
Good, yeah.
find out whether or not I'm going to Toronto in September.
And did we talk about this last week? No, we did. Yeah, you got to show it in front of a crowd that people don't know you.
Yeah,
and very good reaction from that crowd. So
yeah, and they went for the jokes where they were supposed to go, and I led them down the rabbit hole accordingly. And
right. The prediction, then the questioning the prediction, and then the payoff of the prediction.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So, yeah, it was good. So, congratulations. Very exciting stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you've done a second cut of it now. Is that going somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do another. I finally got in touch with Veronica. Happy birthday, Veronica, by the way.
Happy birthday.
I did not get a chance to write on your Facebook wall, but I plan on calling you at some point, so... to find out what she thought of the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did you send it to her?
Yeah, I met up with her and her friend.
Well, wait.
In the CVS on the way back up from your place last week.
Because they were going to the beach.
No, she was going to Indiana.
Okay.
And we were coming back from the beach.
You were coming back from the beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Your impromptu vacation. And what was I doing while you guys were at the beach? I feel
sleeping.
Well, I did sleep a little bit, but I worked all day.
Yeah.
Fucking all day.
Yeah.
Well, you got some sun for the rest of the week.
Not very much sun, but we played mini golf. That was fun.
Indoor? Did you go to the indoor place?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not fucking around with outside in the summertime.
It's like 1,000
I'm way too Irish for that shit. Just going to the beach was too much for me.
Yeah. It's like you're getting closer to the sun. The sand, for some reason, takes you on a higher altitude.
Well, it's like, so in lighting for a film, sometimes you want to get that bounce light.
Right, yeah.
So, like, the sand is like an underneath bounce, and it just, like, hits me in my nether regions.
So you're getting it from both directions?
Yeah, and I don't need that shit. But, yeah, so I want to get her take on the cut, and then I'm going to make another cut.
Right.
And then at some point before it actually goes to be seen in a theater, I'm going to have it like cut for theater audio.
Okay. What's the difference?
Well, in a theater they have 25 speakers.
Oh, okay.
Around, and I want to have it play so that it sounds right in a theater.
Sure. If you say so, that's all Greek to me.
Like, 5.1 or 7.1 audio.
Yeah. It's 25.1.
Well, it's not 20. I wouldn't spend the time doing 25.1, but
I feel like you would. I feel like that's
probably.
what you do. Yeah.
I would sit at a massive mixing board that's like 30 times the size of this one.
Yes.
Just with all the little, just tinkering, like, I need left back channel.
Yeah. All right, so now we're at row 17.
Left mid, I need a little bit more here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
The person in the sweet spot of the theater is getting like the absolute surround.
I just want one person who looks like Marty Sherman from The Critic.
Yeah.
Like sitting in the middle of the theater like, this is awesome.
And it's like playing inside his head because all of the sound is coming in exactly the right place.
It's like fucking Oculus Rift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, as we debuted last week, I want to thank everybody for going to the website, too. Hits were way up this week. I hope everybody was entertained. I'm still working out the kinks. I'm trying to have it so it posts something new on regular intervals. And instead what it does is it posts everything that I have pending on those intervals. Yeah, I mean, it waits the interval time and then puts everything out there. So my hope is that anytime between 6 a.m. and midnight, you'll be getting content. You'll be able to find something new. But right now, it's
always a struggle because like a lot of times with like the podcast, like I try and like set it up so it just automatically like the YouTube goes live and the post goes live all at the same time.
Yeah,
but then like 8 o'clock rolls around and I just like check in and I'm just like nothing's live. And, like, I just end up doing it all myself and I'm like.
Well, and it's I use IFF or IFTTT.
Oh, I love it. If this and that.
Then that, yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work with the scheduling post. That's the problem. Is that it doesn't do when I hit.
It's really good at some things, but it's not like.
Well, it's an error in the coding of the website doesn't match the coding of that. So
gotcha.
When I hit post on the website, it holds it in a queue. And then what it's supposed to do is at every certain interval drop something live. Yeah. Instead, what it does is hold it in a queue and drop the whole queue live on the time. So that's broken. But IFTTT, when I hit post to put it in the queue, it posts it as if it's on live on the website. So if you were to click on it on Twitter, it would bring you up to a 404. But then if you wait till the next interval time, now it's coming up to the live site.
Gotcha.
Pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
And I remember being in like 98 coding, like, this is so easy. And I thought it was going to be easy again, and now I'm trying to teach myself
Open
CSS.
bracket, BR, DAC, bracket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I did that, and I was like, wow, this looks like my MySpace in 1997, so I
just
should probably...
Get the glitter font.
Yeah, I should probably do something else
Rob's
with this.
blog.
So now I'm like searching CSS code. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to make this work. But it doesn't. Anyway, so this week, the big thing we did this week was the Posse adventure to Nationals Park in Washington, D.C.
And what a shit show.
What a shit show. First of all, 3-hour-long rain delay.
2.5 hour, technically. But
well, I got there a half hour late. So
yeah.
For me, I thought it had started and that the rain delay. But anyway, nonetheless, it was a very long rain delay, and they should have canceled it about 15 minutes into that rain delay because us looking at the radar, we're saying they're not getting this game in.
Or they could have just played it after the 2.5 hour rain delay.
Or go ahead and play it. Yeah.
Well, because here's the thing. So let's start from the beginning. The game never started.
No, because I was late, and the last thing I got before I lost signal was your picture saying tarps on the field, rain delay.
Yeah. They're starting the game in the rain delay.
Right.
So me and Aaron are just sitting there, and it's like the most beautiful sky you've ever seen, and we're just like, fucking play for...
And if
it's going to be a delay, then just start to play, and then like...
We'll see what happens. When it starts raining, we'll call it. But they had a tarp on the field already, so...
Yeah, and then it started to rain, and then all of a sudden on the board it said severe weather in the area.
And it was.
Get into the concourse and away from the seats.
Right.
So we all went.
And 40,000 people who were there.
That is where the trouble began.
Yeah.
So every single section has an usher. And an usher is supposed to be like in charge of crowd control and like making sure there's no problems, and if they need security or police officers, they can like walkie somebody or they can be in charge of that. But
not a lot of that going on.
No, because every single usher was just standing at the top of each section,
saying don't go
like
down
with
there.
their arms folded, going like can't sit in the seating bowl, can't sit in the seating bowl, and they couldn't see what was happening in the concourse, which was mayhem, absolute
mayhem.
Yeah.
First of all, and going back, the concourse not meant for the stadium to be full and have all the fans in the concourse. There are pigeonholes. There are
this stadium in particular, because Nats Park is like a newer ballpark.
It's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, but the concourses are relatively small.
I went
probably like half the size of Camden Yards.
Yeah, and we have done rain delays at near sellouts at Camden Yards, and it was fine.
Yeah,
everybody's got a little area to hang out in. Even when we were up on the third deck, the concourse isn't great because it's not covered. Some of it's not covered, but we had plenty of space. And we were down below on the first level. It's like a warehouse that you're walking through.
Yeah,
plenty of space, and it's mostly covered except for the picnic grove, and I guess Utah Street, but. Everything that you would walk out of the seats is covered, and you're good.
Yeah.
Not the case with this, because half of that seating bowl is actually part of the open area of the stadium.
Well, and also the 300 level apparently is not covered at all.
Right, so they had to move down.
Yeah, so those people are coming down to not be rained on. And then you basically have the entire stadium in between left field and right field foul poles behind home plate.
Yeah.
In the concourse.
In a room about this
40,000 people.
Yeah.
And honest to God, it looked like... Remember when we went to Yankee Stadium before it closed?
Yeah.
Like, that was a stadium from fucking 19...
Exactly. It was exactly...
20.
And when the game ended and everybody went out, shoulder to shoulder shuffling.
Right, but everybody was going in the same direction.
Right.
So at least it was like... But, the fucking... Much like Washington, D.C. traffic, everybody was just wherever the fuck they wanted to be.
Right, yeah.
In the concourse, and there was no, like, stream of... There was no, like, one row going this way, one row going this way.
No, just cut across.
Let's let people get in. But I went to smoke a couple times.
Yeah.
Because there was a smoking area nearby.
And now they force you to go. Again, the smokers, they force you to go outside of the actual stadium.
Right.
But you have to stay inside the fence that keeps you in the stadium.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go outside, but stay inside.
Exactly. But when I was on the way back once, there was a father walking with a few children.
Yeah.
and I want to say like a 50-year-old guy somewhere in that area, just like was walking and like totally knocked a kid over.
Yeah.
In the concourse.
Yep.
And this is like the kind of like could be trampled immediately kind of situation.
Nobody stopped.
Right.
No.
And the father's like yelling at the guy who slammed over his kid like with good reason. He's just like, "Hey, you just hit my kid."
Yeah.
And the guy's just like, "This fucking mayhem," like whatever. He was just like,
well, he'd been drinking for 2 hours.
Right. The purge is on. Like,
we can only hope the purge gets on.
But so I called the Nationals because I felt like they needed to know this.
Right. You have a horrible fucking stadium.
You have
Work
a
on your
terrible situation going on here.
Yeah.
And I'm a 30-year-old guy who felt kind of nervous that all of a sudden a riot was going to break out.
And we had positioned ourselves in probably the most defensible area.
Yeah.
Backs to a wall. Group is kind of standing there. And
in an area where there was a little bit of open space.
Right. And I feel like we could have broken out for the gated area if we needed to really get out.
Yeah.
But
the problem there would be like, if Aaron and EP and Shannon, like it would be every man for himself if shit happened.
Yeah, no, I'm shoving them
Like
down.
I can't drag Aaron by the hand all the way to the exit.
No.
Like everyone's just got to be, it's got to be game on. Like,
so I understand from a business perspective, I get it. They want to get the game in if they can get it in. And the longer people are there, the more they're drinking and buying food.
I call bullshit on that though, honestly, because I feel like I'm going to look it up because I'm not 100% sure, but something tells me that they have with the alcohol sales. Yeah. It's either 2.5 hours after the game starts or 7th inning, whichever comes first.
Right, yeah.
It's like when they have to stop alcohol sales. And so I imagine they had the 2.5 hour rain delay, and then once they couldn't sell alcohol anymore, they were just like, all right, the game's called.
Yeah, because it started at 7. That would have meant that they call it at about 9:30,
which is when it happened.
9:45 or so is when they call it.
But here's the fucked up part. So when we were on the metro going back,
wait, I thought you guys took the car back.
No, Shannon and EP took Shannon's car back.
Oh, so you guys walked to the train?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have walked with you. I thought you guys were all going home in the car.
No, you were going the other way.
I was going to the Green Line.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have come with us.
I didn't know.
Oh,
I ended up riding back by myself, meeting a stranger.
Well, we were going in different directions once we got there, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, but we could have waited by ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, I waited there talking to a strange guy who then got on the train going the other way, so...
Anyway, I was reading on Twitter, like, right after they called it. Yeah. They took the tarp off the field.
Right.
And it's somebody who works for Masson for the Nationals. So their own... the media that is official for the Nationals... Right. The guy who basically works for the Nationals...
Tarp's coming off.
Tarp's coming off the field, which means it's not going to rain anymore tonight.
Right, yeah.
They don't take it off if they think it's going to rain at night.
But they couldn't sell any more alcohol because the 2.5 hours had passed.
Right, so they didn't want to start the game at 9:30. Right. And then all of a sudden they play ball, but they can't sell alcohol anymore. What sense does that make?
They've already sold it for 2.5 hours. Let's delay it. We can sell it for 2.5 hours again.
On August 4th when we drag everybody back to D.C.
When, by the way, we went from a 7 o'clock start on a Tuesday? Yeah. To a 4 o'clock start on a Monday.
No, it's 7.
Is it 7?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I thought they said August 4th at 4.
Oh, God.
And I'm supposed to, now I can't go. So now that ticket is worthless to me. And the Nationals, in their infinite wisdom, don't give you the option of selecting another game.
No, you can select another game.
Really?
Yeah. You can't get a refund.
Online. I was looking online, and I thought they said that if it was going to be made up at a different time, especially if it's set at the same time, that they won't give you a refund. Or not, they won't give you a different ticket.
It's so their whole system is fucked.
Yeah, so DC, you suck. I hate... Natitude is stupid.
Yeah. But so here's the thing. One last point before we move on to more pertinent issues. Yeah. So I called up the Nationals. The day after... on Wednesday, I called them up. Nobody from guest services was there.
Oh, weird. How about that?
So I called back on Thursday. And I was trying to get in touch with somebody, and... one of the ticket people was just like, what's this about? Why do you need to speak to guest services? I'm just like, well, I just sort of wanted to let somebody know about how how it worked at the game on Tuesday because it was terrible.
We know.
No, he didn't say that. He was just like, what happened? Yeah. I'm like, well, every single person in the stadium was like was in the concourse, and it was way too many people.
Yeah.
And, you know, I told him everything. I saw a kid getting shoved over. It seemed like a riot was ready to break out. It felt like you got... so I was saying that part, like looked like a riot was about to break out, and he's just like, there's ushers and security who are there to do that. I'm like, I didn't see a single fucking usher anytime I was down there.
Except for when you went up to the bowl. And then
right, anytime you wanted to sit down when it wasn't raining, and then you'd see an usher go like, oh.
No, can't do it.
You can't sit down there. Severe weather.
Yeah, but it's up under... Nope, nobody in the bowl at all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like it's more dangerous to have 40,000 people in the concourse.
Yeah.
That's a bigger hazard to people's health than people sitting in the rain, but whatever. And then when I realized that this guy was just going to be a pain in the ass and, like, not take it seriously, I said to him, I was like, honest to God, like, and everybody on the metro on the ride back was complaining about the game.
Yeah. Oriole
fan, national fan, everybody who was there was just like, that's bullshit. I don't think I'm ever going back.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I was just like, it honest to God felt like, because you guys took the tarp off the field after everyone left.
Yeah.
Felt like you kept it, you didn't call it for 2.5 hours because you wanted to sell alcohol rather than actually get the game in.
Right.
And he, instead of doing like the safety of the fans is paramount, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He was just sort of like, well, I don't know anything about why they make the decision to call the, and I'm just like, that's basically you're admitting to me that you like kept you guys just wanted to get 2.5 hours of alcohol sales. And
right. And it came time that we could have played the game, but you decided to call it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, fuck the Nationals.
Yeah.
Fuck that whole rinky-dink operation.
I don't know that I'll ever go back. I will go back to get the ticket if I can use it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go to the game.
Because I already paid for it.
But I'm not going to buy anything inside. I'm pretty much done with that.
Yeah. And but the one bright spot... pun was the light. We found like the greatest light ever.
Yeah.
And we took some really awesome selfies. So that was good.
We got that at least.
Did salvage that.
It was almost worth the $20 worth of admission.
Almost. And I drank 2 of the worst beers that I've ever had. I will not recommend a Ballpark Heineken. Ballpark Heinekens are bullshit, and you should not serve Heineken out of a tap. Give me a bottle or something. It was horrible. But anyway, so
they do have a bottomless cup of Coke that you can purchase, though.
Right, but then you have to have the thing that says Natitude on it, and I'm just like, I'd rather just dunk my balls in it than drink out of it. Which I actually did.
I'd rather have a cup with balls on them.
I did yours. When you went to the bathroom, I gave you a little tea bag.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was wondering why it tasted diety all of a sudden. It had that
salty taste.
That Nutrisystem or Nutri-Sweet taste.
But the good thing
can only come from balls.
The good thing that came out of that series is that, well, I guess that was before July 4th, right? That was a week before July 4th, or did that just happen? That just happened.
That just happened.
Right. So, not that series, I guess, but we're now coming up on the All-Star break, and because of that series, the Orioles are now in first place in the AL East. Thank you. Hey. And as you continually point out, we are at the ceremonial halfway point, because the halfway point was actually...
on July 1st. Against
1st.
The Rangers when we won 8-3.
The 81st game of the year. Now we are at game 93, I think.
Yeah, officially as of the recording of this podcast, we have one more game to go before the All-Star break, but you know.
So, and we're 51-48, and I think the Blue Jays lost today, so we are secured for first place going into the break.
Not 51-48.
51-43, is that what it was? 51-43. Yeah, 94.
We're more than 3 games above 500.
Yeah. So doing great. And so what we're doing today is we're going to talk about the All-Star break, but we're also going to talk about Cory's predictions. Yep. We're going to get the mid-season update predictions. So, the Orioles are ahead in the division, followed by the Blue Jays, right? And then Yankees, Rays, Sox, right?
Yeah, I believe that's currently how it's laid out.
And the Orioles
we're going to be first place in the division come the All-Star break no matter what.
Which is excellent. And when's the last time that happened? I feel like it did happen before, but the wheels fell off in August. Like, that's happened.
I remember the year that it happened. It was the year that Palmeiro got suspended.
Wow, so that was it seems like yesterday, but that was the early 2000s, right? The early aughts sometime?
2003,
4?
something like that.
Yeah, so leading at the All-Star break, wheels fell off in August. And then
Clearly, we've defined that when we were trying to figure out when the All-Star game started to matter again. We had that discussion. I was just like, what, it was like 4 or 5 years ago? And it was like, no, it was
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Jesus, all right. Well, yeah.
God damn, I'm old.
Yeah, so looking at your predictions, I think we've actually pulled up the actual bits of the podcast. Rob
has very dutifully put together a soundboard.
Go on the extra mile. That's what I do.
For some of our better moments, including this one, just for fun. I think you're a megalomaniac.
Which is that? That's from the first episode, too.
I like that one.
Yeah.
And this one. I was playing this all the time. Laugh it up. Laugh it up, Chuckles.
You know what I find after listening to all of them?
What?
I do laugh at you a lot.
Well, thank God. Somebody needs to.
Hopefully somebody is. And you know what? I like the Abe one from that same episode, too, talking about baseball. Play that one. Abe Simpson.
I'm very much like the Abe Simpson of baseball.
Very much so.
Well, back in the day of Home Run Baker, the ball was made of lead.
That was a good one.
Honestly, the hardest part is listening through and picking out like the best ones.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I'm laughing like every 3 minutes. We're like a comedy movie.
We are pretty great, aren't we?
We are pretty great. So then you have to pull it down.
So everyone, tell your friends how great we are,
and tell them to listen. I mean, and you can find the podcast so many places.
I will be like secretly like, oh, you guys, you don't have to do that.
Speaking of which,
I appreciate you saying nice things about me though, and Rob will be like, come on, give it to me.
Give it to me. But
I want to hear every single time somebody mentions my name in public.
I do. But speaking of greatness, that's probably why Stitcher brought us on.
Yeah.
And I was appreciative to see that so many of you guys actually listen to us on Stitcher. I was getting the updates on Facebook like, hey, so-and-so listened to this. Casey, I know Casey listened to a couple on Stitcher, and Aaron listened to a couple on Stitcher. So Stitcher's a great program. We're happy to be a part of that.
I was listening to Stitcher all day for other podcasts.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's becoming...
My film podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You and your film podcast. So, everybody continue to go out and check out Stitcher. We want to thank them again for posting our content on there. So, Anyway, so moving forward, I guess, let's go back to Cory's preseason predictions. If you remember, we were 8 games in at the first episode of the podcast.
Right.
We had you and I went to a couple... We went to opening day, which was actually pretty nice. But then we had, like, the polar vortex come down, and it was like 30 degrees for the week, and
it was really cold to start off the season.
Yeah,
and the bats weren't there, the pitching wasn't there, and I kept saying,
"Hold on,
yeah, it's gonna get better."
Yeah,
we don't have that one in here, do we?
No, it's too long. It was too big to post. But
basically, like, you know, the bats will come around, the pitching will come around. Everybody, calm down. It was a really fucking tough schedule to start the year.
Yeah, well, and it's a lot like high school baseball. High school baseball starts before the major leagues.
Yeah.
And it's cold. It's hard for the pitchers to get warmed up. You end up using more pitchers in March than you do any other time.
Yeah, well, and beyond that, like the ball travels further when it's hot.
Right.
Because the air gets thinner and it goes better.
Carries better. Yeah.
So.
And we saw that.
Yeah.
So, but before that, let's go. What did Cory say was the weakness of this team coming into the season in 2014?
Let's see how the prediction matches up.
Yeah.
Weakness is on base percentage. That's my call.
Right. Yeah, so.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what part of the problem has been. I mean, we could probably use another arm in the starting rotation.
Right.
But there's certainly not enough people on base causing trouble.
And I would have thought when we lost Weeders in the first month or whatever, that was going to be the big deal. But surprisingly, the 2 backups have stepped up, and they are killing it. In fact, walk-off, not home run, but walk-off hit.
From Hundley.
At last night, right? Was it last night? I mean, like, really stepping up. But 2 things. On-base percentage is killing us. Yeah. And number 2, left on-base percentage is killing us.
Well, that's another part of it. Just like we're so feast or famine.
Right.
And when we hit home runs, it's great. But when we don't, it's like, you know, we'll leave 7 on for a game.
Yeah.
Runners in scoring position, just not moving people over, like.
Not playing the small ball, not scoring runs and getting the long out so that somebody can advance.
Oh, and I was complaining about this today about the game on Friday.
Yeah.
Ryan Flaherty had the fucking worst at bat I've ever seen in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Yeah.
When all he needed to do was move Manny over to third base. Like, it's so simple.
No outs, right? No outs?
No outs.
Guy on second.
Runner on second. You're tied in the bottom of the 10th.
Put it in play.
Put it in play. Just put it on the ground. Let Manny get over to third base. It's easy.
Not apparently. Apparently not.
No, not for Flaherty.
Yeah.
Who's fucking worthless.
Anyway, so you said that the weakness was going to be on base percentage, and that's something they got to turn around in the second half. If they can't get him on base, and if we can't move those runners forward, you're not going to win. But just the same, what was the strength of the team in 2014?
Very heavy home run hitting team.
Now, would you say that's the strength, though? That looking back, you're like, well, look at us with our power?
Yeah, I mean, I think that no game is out of...
Oh, that cut off a little.
Yeah. No game is out of reach.
Yeah. And I think that we've seen that, too. And in this last week alone, it has been a microcosm of the season.
Yeah.
It's going to extra innings, and then in the 11th.
Hitting 3 home runs. 3
home runs in one half inning.
Yeah.
And just walking away with it.
Yeah, we had 8 runs at the end of the game because we scored 6 in the top of the 11th.
But then the next day, I guess it was. Well, they still. Okay, so what I'll say, they'll still end up winning that game. But it was on Hunley's hit, not on Flaherty. Flaherty, and I want to say that there was 2 outs there. Flaherty struck out, and then whoever it is grounded out without advancing the runner.
No, Hunley was the next up.
Was he up after that?
Yeah, and then he just hit a single that Machado scored on.
Well, so then let's look at today's game, which we just got back from, which was we can't get anybody on base, and when we finally got him on base, even when we had a runner on third twice, and we just can't.
Well, we had second and third too.
Can't get somebody home. Just give me a small hit, something. Anything.
Well, I think too. Like, so I saw this on Twitter. I wish I noted who said it because it was a really good point. But what would you imagine the Orioles' record would be if I had told you all of these things? This list of criteria. If I told you that at the All-Star break,
right,
Ubaldo Jimenez would not be a quality starting pitcher for us.
Something that we talked about, actually I didn't put it on there, was you saying he needs to step up because we need that arm.
Well, here, let me go through the list real quick. Ubaldo Jimenez wouldn't be living up to the hype.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a quality starting pitcher for us. Chris Tillman would regress.
Right.
Miguel Gonzalez would regress. We would lose Matt Wieters for the season.
Yeah. Like
a month in. We would get no offensive production from the second baseman. We'd have Chris Davis hitting at 200. We would have no production whatsoever from David Lowe.
Yeah.
What else was on there?
Well, I can tell you.
I can't remember what else was on the list, but it was a really on point tweet, and like the question was like, what do you imagine the Orioles' record would be if I had told you all these things at the beginning of the season?
10 games under 500. It's a rebuilding year again. Hello, 2007.
Right, but we're in first place going into the break.
Now, is that the division or is that overcoming all of those weaknesses?
I think it's both.
The division's a little weak this year too.
It is weak, but I don't think. You see, I think every single team in the division is built for a playoff run if they make it.
Right.
Like every team has a strength to it.
Yeah.
Which is, even the teams that are, the Rays and the Red Sox are struggling.
But they have the team.
But if they won 15 out of 20 or something like that and got right back in the race, then I still think the Rays are a good team that could go far in the playoffs if they made it.
Right.
It's just a matter of whether or not they ever put it together.
And, I mean, the other part of that is the weaknesses that you point out there. Somebody has stepped up and filled it.
Right.
Cruz, who we hoped good things for, has overproduced on what I was at least thinking he was going to do.
Well, Cruz has, basically replaced Chris Davis.
Right.
As far as, that level of production we were expecting from Davis has been taken over by Cruz. But, I mean,
But then, Wieters goes down.
Yeah.
And the two backup guys step up.
Yeah.
Hunley's getting big hits. They're both playing well behind the plate.
Even Clevenger was getting big hits before he went down, and now he's back up. But I mean, I like Clevenger a lot.
And other players are stepping up, and they're getting hits. We're not hearing the names Jones, Markakis, and Davis a lot.
We're hearing Jones and Markakis because they're both hitting 300.
But I mean,
close to. I mean, I think Marquez is 288 right now. He's fallen off a little bit.
We're not hearing the home run production, which is, I mean, going back to you saying the strength.
Jones has a very quiet 17 home runs this season, I think.
And maybe that's it. Maybe you just don't. It's like, oh well,
he hits them, but like it's not like
he's not on a Davis run, a tear.
Or a cruise run.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
When you hit one a week pretty consistently, I don't think you necessarily notice it that much.
Right, and especially when you're on the same team as a guy who's got leading the AL.
Yeah.
In home
with 27 of them.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy at the park who had a sign today that had 29 up every time.
Like cruise counter,
Yeah, and he's got the paper. He's ready to flip it over.
Yeah.
Strikeout, ground out, strikeout.
Did he go 0 for 4 today?
He went 0 for 4, yeah. With two or three strikeouts.
I think it was 3, because I think he was going for the Golden Sombrero and the 9th.
Yay! Good for him.
No, but I mean, it's a weird team.
Yeah.
And I like their moxie.
But it's like some days they show up to play, some days they don't. I don't understand. And meanwhile, 3 of those names that I just mentioned are going to the All-Star game. Jones, which I think is no surprise because he's still playing well in the field. He's quiet at bat, but he's producing.
300 hitter with 17 home runs is no fluke.
Right.
That's a good hitter.
And he's picking up the big plays in the field.
Yeah, and he's a Gold Glove defensive player. He gunned somebody out at the plate today.
Yeah, oh God, it was so good.
That was great.
And then wait, who was in left field today? It wasn't Lowe.
Pierce,
who gunned somebody out. And then again, the difference between having Matt Wieters and not having Matt Wieters is that close play at the plate.
Yeah, I do miss having Matt there for that.
Started the tag before he made the catch, and the ball bounced off of him and went out. But
when you can't block the plate anymore, too, it becomes tougher to.
That was new this year too.
That rule really, I feel like that hurt people a lot.
But it's supposed to stop people from actually getting hurt. That's I
don't give a shit.
Well, anyway, so Jones
go spikes up for all I care.
It's part of the job. So Jones is going to the All-Star game, and Cruz, no surprise, leading the AL. He's going, and the bigger surprise, Matt Wieters, who's looking at Tommy John or got Tommy John surgery on the All-Star team, starter.
I like the. I was reading on Rock Kabaka's blog. I couldn't find it. Pull the quote for like this episode because I couldn't find it, but. A reporter had asked Buck, "Are you surprised that Matt Wieters is leading the All-Star voting
with only 26 games?
With only 26 games, like it's he only played for a month, and he's leading the All-Star voting. Are you surprised?" And Buck turns to him and he's like, "To be fair, it was a really fucking good month." He didn't say fucking, but it was a really good month.
Yeah. And we've been talking about what the reasons are, and I mean, there's a couple of options. One, you can start voting so much earlier than you usually could.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're voting. The fan voting happens during that first month where he's getting off onto a huge tear, and then he got a huge lead, and then didn't really relinquish it because nobody else was there to take him out.
Which is number 2. Is part of it is a weak field in the AL. I mean, who else? I can't even name you a catcher in the AL. There's no Posada. There's no. Oh God! And we talked about his name yesterday. Now I forget it again. Pudge. There's no Pudge Rodriguez in.
Well, Pudge is way.
What?
That was a long time ago.
Well, I'm going back, but
he was back before the All-Star game started counting.
Right. Yeah, but there's no names that stick out. I mean, I think Wieters, baseball Jesus is here. That's it, And is it? I think it's a little bit of he had that great tear, and the voting started early when people saw it. They voted. There's not a lot of competition, and he is the most personable guy. One of the most personable guys in all of Major League Baseball.
He's hard to dislike.
You really can't dislike him. He is just a nice, all around nice guy, and I think that people see that. Now, I don't remember, but it used to be that we didn't get to vote for the All-Star team. Weren't they selected by like the AP?
Well,
you
got to vote, but it was like late in the season. That was the thing, like a month before.
Yeah,
and your vote counted so little,
and somebody else chose the names on the ballot. Right, it wasn't like you could just vote for anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a ballot that was set, and we voted for the names that somebody else selected on that ballot.
I don't know exactly the history of the All-Star ballot. It'd be an interesting thing to
look into. Yeah,
look into.
But we now have such a big impact. We the voters, we the watching public.
Just look who's starting at shortstop for the American League.
Who is that?
Derek Jeter.
Yeah, what's wrong with? What do you mean? He's an all-star. He's a classy player.
He's so classy.
He's so classy.
Damn, he's classy.
The way he carries Brian Roberts' glove, classy.
That 0 for 5 he had the other day was just the classiest 0 for 5 I've ever seen.
Yeah. When he walked back to the dugout in disgrace, Get his head high.
Oh yeah.
The dugout.
Oh yeah.
The millions of dollars probably helped with that, but
right. Knowing that when he gets back to his hotel tonight,
yeah,
there will be some 18-year-old just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, on a bed covered with money.
Yeah.
God, I've actually done that before.
No,
That's
go ahead.
a lot of fun.
No, go ahead. You can take a little bit of that money with you.
Sure. Yeah.
If you would like. I have plenty.
Wait, is it Madonna that's waiting for him?
I'm Derek Jeter. No, that was A-Rod.
A-Rod. Oh.
I do like how periodically throughout this is what sucks is this is the first time the Yankees came to town.
Yeah.
To play at Camden Yards all season.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting for all these chances to mock Yankee fans. Yeah. And it hasn't come until this point.
But they're coming back a couple of times in the fall.
Yeah, they play a lot here in the second half. But the one I liked that a lot of Yankee fans were rolling their eyes at was I was just like, oh man, we got to watch out. We got A-Rod coming up soon. Yeah. It's the middle of the order. A-Rod's up any minute. And then be like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wait, A-Rod's out for the season?
What?
Since when?
Did he get injured? What's going on?
So he must have just a freak accident, right?
Yeah.
Oh, steroids. Oh.
Tripped and fell on that
needle. Well, he's 37 years old, so I imagine it'll be great when he comes back.
Right, yeah, from that.
You guys don't owe him a lot of money or anything, do you?
$500 million?
Oh, you still owe him $100 million.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, thank God you're the Yankees, because you can afford it. That's fine.
Thank God he just has to show up at spring training every year and collect his check.
Right. What were you saying? He's 500 pounds. Yeah. I'm like, hey, guys.
He's just like...
I'll take my money now.
Go ahead and fucking release me. You know you want to.
Clear that.
Just write me a check for $100 million and I'm out of your face forever.
Yeah.
You fucks.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I'll accept my my place on the 60-day DL.
Right, yeah, go ahead, put me on there.
For a hangnail.
Well, and the thing is, today, there was a couple Yankee fans sitting over to the right. I don't know if you
because that was an Albert Bell move, too.
What's that?
Albert Bell, more or less retired with the Orioles. But he didn't retire. He was just injured for the rest of his contract to get paid.
And they shifted him around on different DLs and put him down and brought him back up. And
60-day DL. And
yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, so the Yankee fans
because all that money's guaranteed. Hooray, baseball union.
The Yankee fans in front of us, you said some stuff that was off the wall. You talked about A-Rod a little bit and a little bit about Jeter. And I could tell they were getting upset. The thing they got most upset about was when you were like, yeah, this is the anniversary when George Steinbrenner died. Wouldn't it be nice for us to get a win today? And then the woman is, after you've been cursing loudly, and Jeter's so fucking classy, and A-Rod's not in, I'm very concerned about the 4 spot. Who is this guy? It's not A-Rod. And then you're like, oh, well, anniversary of Steinbrenner dying, good. And she's like, oh my God, what did he say?
I think she was also upset because Aaron was just like, who's George Steinbrenner?
It could be that too. Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, you never watched Seinfeld.
Yeah, see? Oh, man. Anyway, so...
well, there was a woman on Friday who, was sitting behind us, quietly whispering loudly, as, New Yorkers do. The New York... Have you ever...
Do the accent.
Can I do the New York whisper for you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so first, here's a regular whisper, anywhere else in the country, I think that Rob might have a drug problem, and we gotta take care of that.
Right.
I'm a little bit worried about Rob.
Mm-hmm. No, wait. Do an Aaron whisper for me.
Oh, an Aaron whisper?
Yeah.
Cory. Hey. Where are you?
I think Rob's got a problem.
All
right, so now what's the New York whisper?
It goes a little something like this.
Yeah.
I think Adam Jones is on crack. Which is literally something that woman said.
Yes.
She think that was significantly less volume than she was talking before, but she's 18 inches away from the back of my ear and she's just like, I think Adam Jones is on crack.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, he is, chewing bubblegum in there.
Well, he is a black athlete. Let's just assume the worst.
Well, they got used to dealing with Darryl Strawberry, okay? It's not her fault. She was older.
But she said something that I found I rarely find the need to stand up to Yankee fans and stuff like that, even though they say and do ridiculous, stupid things.
I don't like to make fun of people who are stupider than me. So
yeah, it's picking a fight with somebody who can't fight back.
Yeah, a battle of the wits. And you came unprepared. So,
but she literally said none of these Oriole fans were here when they were losing for half a decade, or losing for a decade and a half.
Excuse me, miss. Actually,
and I literally wanted to be turning around, going yeah, I went to pretty much the same amount of games I went to now.
Yep.
When they were losing,
more sometimes.
There was a year or two where we went to 40 games or something like that.
We went to 26 of the 51 that were played that year. Now, because I went to New York, I went to law school,
right.
So 51 games were played in Baltimore while I was here, and we went to 26 of them.
Yeah, and then I went to a bunch that after
I left.
But.
Yeah. So, and they did horrible. That was 08, so that was in the doldrums of 10 games under 500.
Man, I really hope Hayden Penn turns it around. We need him.
God, let us finish at 500. Come on, give me a winning year. Give me a winning season.
But I was so she was just yeah, I bet none of these guys were here when they were losing for a decade and a half, and I just wanted to be turn around and be I'm sure you were going to Yankee Stadium every single night when they were losing for a decade and a half in the 80s.
Yeah, driving out from Long Island up to the Bronx.
Oh, and now that I think about it, when they started winning again, who was the manager of the Yankees?
Oh, wait, wasn't that...
Well, hold on a second. Let's back up for a second. George Steinbrenner was banned from baseball for a couple years because he hired a 2-bit private investigator to dig up dirt on a player.
Right.
So the commissioner banned him for 3 seasons? Something like that?
Maybe.
3 seasons?
Go up like that? Yeah.
3 seasons?
3.
Yeah. George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, who died 4 years ago today, as of the recording of this podcast.
Dum dum dum, dum dum dum.
So he was not allowed to be involved in baseball operations of the Yankees.
Right.
And it was Gene Michaels, the general manager. But who was the manager of the Yankees?
Wait.
It was the guy before Cory.
Right. Oh. Was that Buck Showalter?
Oh, it was Buck Showalter.
It was Buck Showalter.
So they lost for 14 years, and all of a sudden Buck Showalter became their manager, and they went to the playoffs.
Right. And then when Steinbrenner came back, he definitely kept him on to go to...
No, he fired him out of spite.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was angry, and he wanted to change everything.
Right. But then they went to the World Series.
Yeah, but Buck Showalter and Gene Michaels took the talent that was on the roster that wasn't very good for most of the time that they had him, and then all of a sudden they just managed to get better.
Right.
They didn't trade away young stars.
Nothing to do with Buck Showalter.
And then all of a sudden, Jorge Posada and Andy Pettitte and Derek Jeter and Bernie Williams are all some of the best players in baseball.
Right.
And the Yankees win.
Might be a connection there.
It doesn't sound anything like what we got going on.
Not at all.
Because we lost for 14 years.
Right.
And then Buck Showalter came in. And then we went to the playoffs.
The first year he was here.
Yeah. And then, but we don't have,
Wait, who do we give up?
Do we have any good players, though? I mean, Adam Jones, Chris Davis, Nelson Cruz, Matt Wieters, J.J. Hardy, Manny Machado.
The whole field.
Nick Markakis, Chris Tillman.
Yeah.
Zach Britton, Darren O'Day.
Right. Just put it together, though. He just put it together. And
none of those guys sold jerseys, so it's...
Oh, I'm not wearing it, but I have a Machado jersey. How dare you? Rabble. Anyway, so I just want to touch on quickly because somebody asked me the question. I figure we should address it since we're talking about the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Why does the All-Star game matter? Because when we were kids, it was the fun game. It was... What is the name of that pitcher who throws the floaters? Shit, what do they call it?
Ephus?
An Ephus pitch. Yeah. I mean, it was Roger Clemens throwing an Ephus pitch in the first inning.
There was the one, too, where one of my favorite All-Star game memories, I'm sure it's on other people's list, too, is John Kruk was up to bat against Randy Johnson. And Randy Johnson, quote-unquote, threw at his head.
Right. Yeah.
And, Randy Johnson was an intimidating left-hander who threw 100 miles an hour.
And it's 6'8".
Yeah, and he threw at Kruk's head. So Kruk turned his batting helmet on backwards and stood on the opposite end of the... He decided to switch hit in the middle of the at-bat so he wouldn't get the ball thrown at him again.
Yeah.
and obviously struck out horribly. But like everyone was just like, funny fucking All-Star game.
It's
moment.
All-Star game, yeah. Because it was for jokes, and it was.
I mean, it was serious, but it was like if things happened, like players would laugh about it. And
I feel like there was one time when Kirby Puckett hit a blooper into the right field, and like walked to first base. Yeah. And the right fielder like picked up the ball, and, like looked at him, and then walked towards first base.
Yeah.
Tagged him out, or tagged the base to get him out. And I'm like, okay, so you walked from the batter's box. The right fielder just tagged you out at first.
Yeah.
Come on. Somebody try. But that was the problem.
But then you also get great moments. Like when Cal was elected to his final All-Star game.
Right.
He was elected as the third baseman, and A-Rod was the shortstop when A-Rod was in Seattle.
And playing shortstop, yeah.
Yeah, but when they went out to the field, A-Rod made Cal take short.
Right.
And he moved to third for the game because it was a big moment where Cal gets to play short in the All-Star game for the last time.
Right, yeah.
Even though he wasn't capable of playing shortstop anymore.
No. Well, and that's I feel like we just talked about somebody who's in that same situation.
Oh, God.
Getting older,
has no range.
Have the range.
But the difference, though, is Cal Ripken was a phenomenal defensive player for his entire career.
And once he moved to third base, he didn't have to range across behind the
right,
guy.
but he was still a great defensive player.
Yeah.
But no,
Jeter
well, Jeter's won Gold Gloves.
Well, yeah.
Which is an absolutely pointless award.
Well, you can win a Gold Glove when you you pick up the grounder 5 feet from third base and then run 15 feet into foul territory, jump and throw the guy out at first.
For everybody who wants to put me on blast for saying that Derek Jeter is a terrible defensive player and shouldn't have won any Gold Gloves,
yeah,
I would like to point out that somebody who won a Gold Glove before was Rafael Palmeiro.
Right.
At first base.
Yeah.
And you're saying to yourself, well, Rafael Palmeiro wasn't a terrible defensive player. He wasn't a statue out there. You know how many games he played at first base the year he won it? Like 10. 10 all season.
Yeah.
You didn't have an error.
Played 10 games.
Fielding percentage was 1,000. What more do you want? Didn't have a chance to make a mistake.
I remember that you showed me some YouTube clip. God, it was years ago now, back in college, of Derek Jeter, and it was like entitled "Ridiculous, Unnecessary Jeter Plays."
Oh yeah,
where like he waits, and then jumps and slides to grab the grounder. I mean, you could have walked over and put your glove down in front of it.
Well, the all-timer on that, of course, was the it'll be on Jeter's highlight reel forever.
Right.
Was catching the ball on the run in fair ground,
right,
and then diving into the stands. There was a solid, like 3 or 4 strides that he took before diving into the crowd that were completely unnecessary.
Right, but they embraced him. It was like Green Bay. It was like catching a touchdown in Green Bay.
It was like the Lambeau leap.
Jump into the stands. Yeah.
We like to call that the Bronx torpedo.
Watch your beers. Watch your beers.
Everybody watch it. Oh, little Nancy died, but it was Derek Jeter, so it's all right.
It's all right, yeah. He's going to come to the funeral. It'll be fine.
He's so fucking classy. He's so fucking classy.
So anyway,
why does he have to be so fucking classy all the time?
So 12 years ago.
He walks, like, during the funeral, like, all of a sudden, everybody's crying over the little 8-year-old girl who died because Derek Jeter torpedoed her. And then all of a sudden, everyone's crying. Everyone's really upset about it. And then we hear the voice of God, Bob Shepard, come over the loudspeaker, like in the middle of playing hymns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. And everyone turns, faces the door of the cathedral.
Right.
And there's Derek Jeter wearing a suit because he's got to go fuck a model after this. So, he's wearing a suit. He's got his Yankee hat on, and everyone looks, and he just sort of tips the hat. Mm-hmm. Tips the hat to the little girl that died unnecessarily.
By his diving into
the stands. By him diving into the stands for no good reason.
Cathedral doors open up. It's backlit. He walks through. Yeah.
Just tips the hat and walks away.
Yeah.
And then goes balls deep in somebody named Alanka. And everybody in the fucking cathedral just stares at each other and they go, that Derek Jeter, he's so fucking classy. God damn, Derek Jeter, you're classy.
I feel like you've just written the next short right there. That is an award winner. You submit that to a New York Film Festival, win.
Tribeca
Film, win right there.
But I can't use the name Derek Jeter. It's got to be
Barrack beater.
Barrack beater.
There you go. We got it. Anyway, so to go back to the whole point is that now that there was a lot of funny
there's
moments.
there's got to be a moment of silence when he like is no longer backlit at the entrance of the cathedral,
right?
And just it's silence. Everybody in there is silent, and just one guy up front, like, God damn, he's classy. Screaming "God damn it" in the cathedral, and like the priest is just like, what can I say? He's goddamn classy.
Or the asshole in the front trying.
There's no other word.
Starting the slow clap. God damn, he's classy.
We love you, Captain.
You know, on the plus side, we don't have to see him again after this year.
Oh, thank God.
Unless he picks up the coaching.
Oh, you know who I hate the most? The Yankee fan I think I hate the most this year is the Yankee fan. So, like, of course, every time Derek Jeter comes up to bat, everyone has to give a standing ovation to Jeter.
And they did. Jesus Christ. Every single time.
Every single fucking time. But there's one guy who I really hate. He's the one who stands up with his hands over his head.
Yeah.
And is just sort of like, just the wrists. Just the wrists, like doing the hands like come on, everybody up. It's Derek Jeter.
Let's do it, guys.
Jeter's up, everybody. Like, I fucking hate that guy. I hate him.
Okay, so back on the whole point is that we won't have those funny moments anymore because 12 years ago the rules changed. Even though we thought it was 4 years, it turns out it's 12. And now the All-Star Game matters.
Yeah.
Because the league that wins the All-Star Game gets home field advantage.
And I want to win the All-Star Game this year because
why is that?
The Orioles are first place right now at the ceremonial halfway point. So if we're first place now, I feel at least confident that we're going to be in the running for the rest of the year.
Which you predicted. Play that last one. Play your prediction. So the whole point being that we could have a World Series game in Baltimore. Not just one, but 4.
Okay, so here's the prediction.
Yeah.
No play.
Mm-hmm.
It wants to play. It keeps acting like it is going to play. Oh.
So you heard it here first. 86 wins, making a run, definitely run to the playoffs, given all things being equal.
Yeah.
A shot at the big show.
Yeah.
So that was it. 86 wins, which means right now they need to win 35 games of the last 70.
Yeah.
Half.
500 the rest of, I feel like they're going to have to win more to win the division.
But to fulfill your prediction.
To fulfill the prediction of second, I think 86 is probably, that sounds right.
Oh, and that's right. The part I guess that wasn't completely clear on there is that you actually predicted that the Rays would win the
Yeah, I thought the Rays would win the AL East. But I also feel like, I don't know if I said it in the show, but I know I've been saying it all year, is like the AL East is so tight.
Anybody.
All the teams are pretty equal. Anyone could have finished first. Anyone could have finished last. Like, it was... You know, and there's almost no shame in finishing last in this division.
No. Well, I mean, it depends what your win-loss record is.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we did some embarrassing
The Red Sox are pretty embarrassing right now.
Well, and you finished 17 games under 500, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do just before we get out, I did want to bring up this because I did some research. This is something I predicted on that first episode. I do feel, though, that there might be a big trade at the deadline time. Right. That one piece we're missing might be coming. And I asked Rob to think about a trade. Did you come up with one, by the way?
I did not. I'm going to steal Aaron's. What was Aaron's?
Trade everybody on the roster for 20 Prince Fielders and 20 Matt Wieters.
Okay, I take that back. I'm not going to take it.
Granted, it would be a sexy team in Aaron's mind.
Right.
But we would have no defense up the middle. Middle infield would be weak for us. Pitching would be pretty bad. The outfield for sure.
Yeah, none of those people could play outfield.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take that back, and I'm going to make one that makes Aaron upset because hers was ridiculous. And that is, and you know what, throw Shanny under the bus too. I say that we take Wieters and we take Flaherty, and we put them up on the auction block with the eBay style. What do you got? Starting
give us your best offer. We'll take whatever it is.
We're going to let it run for 12 days. And whatever the best offer is at the end of the 12 days, we'll take them.
Just email it. Secret email ballot.
Yeah. We'll take a middle reliever. We could use a closer, like a real quality.
I don't know. I like Britton.
I agree with you, but I think that if we had like a Mariano Rivera, Britton would be a great setup guy for Rivera coming in. But absent that, he's doing a good job at what he's doing.
Yeah. I think he's all right with his life in Panama.
I know what you're going to say, and I don't want to take it, but getting a second baseman in that has a bat and is consistent.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't see a lot of weakness. So, I mean, the pitching is what I would look at. A starting pitcher would be great.
Well, that's where my prediction comes
in.
You go.
Wait, no, so you're not doing this. Oh, that was something I heard on the first one. Getting a second baseman. The possibility of trading a couple of draft picks or...
Well, not draft picks, prospects.
Prospects, I mean, yeah. For getting somebody who's reliable. Getting a Brian Roberts, but a 2001 Brian Roberts in. Somebody who's quick and can steal bases.
On-base percentage guy.
Yeah. A small ball hitter. He doesn't have to hit home runs, but gets on base a lot, steals a lot, and plays the field well.
See, I feel like second base is kind of weak though, and there's nobody who can really
Well, I like. I think I
predicted
we got somebody, and he was at the Fan Fest, and now he's playing in Norfolk.
Oh, Steve Lombardozzi?
Yeah,
I love Lombo.
Yeah,
I think he's going to come back up and do things for us.
I think he needed to go settle down the bat in Norfolk and come back and see what he
play a bunch of positions.
Yeah,
so he can take Flaherty's place anytime he wants. In my mind.
Thank God. Anyway, so yours.
Yeah, my prediction before we get out of here. There is a bit of an albatross contract out there in the starting pitching ranks.
Right.
It's a lot of money, and it's going to be hard to move. So, I say we offer two different versions of this deal to this player with the albatross contract.
Okay.
Either we give you less in the way of prospects, and we eat the money, which is considerable.
And Angelos has a pretty tight purse. So.
It's $25 million this year. I mean, it's less, we're halfway through, so it's,
Yeah.
And it's $25 million next year.
Ooh.
And if he pitches more than 200 innings next year, then it's $25 million automatically for the year after that.
Oh, that's a big contract.
The pitcher is 35 years old.
Okay. Roger Clemens coming back in?
No.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to, if the team in question that I'm willing to propose this trade to is willing to eat a significant amount of money,
right?
Let's just say $10 million, $15 million of the contract,
right?
Then I'd be willing to include a top 3 prospect.
Okay.
I don't want to give up Bundy, but I'd consider giving up Eduardo Rodriguez. And maybe throwing in another top 20 guy like a Brandon Klein or something like that. And then if you need somebody else lower down the pecking order to feel good about your life, then
we'll throw somebody top 50.
Yeah, or whatever. Player to be named later or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd be all right with Eduardo moving in a deal for Cliff Lee.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. Because Cliff Lee has a very good track record of performing in the playoffs.
Right.
He has great career numbers. He pitches deep into games. He's a crafty lefty.
Yeah.
A veteran who doesn't get rocked a lot, who doesn't get shelled that often.
Okay.
And I feel like a prerequisite for any pitcher on the Orioles is do not get rocked.
Yeah.
Because as long as you keep it close, we can possibly make it up.
Yeah.
If it's a 3-run game in the ninth, it's not out of the question.
Right.
Just a couple ducks on the pond, 3-run home run, let's get out of here.
But don't get us in an 8-2 hole.
Yeah, don't blow it out. So I say Cliff Lee. I would like to see the Orioles put together something for Cliff Lee. It's a huge contract.
And
I understand that, but
my only response is that Baltimore is traditionally where people take their bloated contracts and go to never play another game of baseball. So, Albert Bell.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's the example.
It's the argument I made before. Flags fly forever.
Right.
We have a window right here to win a championship now.
Right.
2 more years of Davis and Wieters under contract.
Right. Maybe we could double.
I'd rather take a shot in these 2 years and worry about how good Eduardo is going to be
Fair enough.
In 2017 or something like that, or
Right.
2015 or not that long. He's close, but he's not like
Not
probably next year or the year after.
Right.
I'd rather just get Cliff Lee, make a run for it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Try to play it together this year.
And, if we get Cliff Lee, then we can move someone to the, how good would Miguel Gonzalez be in the bullpen?
Yeah.
Coming out of the bullpen.
Really well for 2 innings, and then the wheels fall off. So.
Well, and not only that, but when Tommy Hunter went from the starting rotation to the bullpen, he added another 5 miles an hour to his pitches.
Right, yeah.
Miguel pitching at 96 would be quite the tough. And if somebody did get rocked, I wouldn't feel bad about Miguel coming in long relief.
Right, yeah.
Pick up 4 innings. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think a starting pitcher is what we need.
So listen,
to get over the edge.
It's not. I keep wanting to say Andy, but Andy's not there anymore, is he? He left.
Who?
Andy McPhail?
Oh yeah, it's Dan Duquette.
Dan Duquette. Listen, Dan. If you're listening, you need to take this advice. Bring in Cliff Lee.
I hope he's listening.
Take the punch. Yeah, just take the hit either with
He's
players.
He's going to finance our Derek Jeter short film.
Oh God, yes.
If he heard that, I'm sure.
Especially if you get
an anonymous check.
If we pick up Cliff Lee and we win the World Series and he's anonymous check for $40,000 shows up.
Make that short film.
Derek Jeter picture in the memo.
In the memo.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the All-Star game. This is going to be coming out on Tuesday, so that means tonight is the All-Star game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Home Run Derby was Monday?
Home Run Derby was last night, but hope you enjoyed the Home Run Derby.
Adam Jones.
Competing. So
hopefully won.
All right, now let's see. Realistically, just give me a prediction. Let's pretend that we were actually recording this on Tuesday and we just watched it. It was so great to see
Giancarlo Stanton win the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and the new bracket thing was really, and I think that's what did Jones in. It was the bracket.
Yeah, getting into that second round,
getting the bye was so important.
Just he ran into the Yoenis Cespedes train,
and the 7 outs rather than the 10. Getting those 3 extra outs.
And the NL side, Puig and Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
What a fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
What a show.
Putting it on for everybody.
Yeah.
Now let's see how
it was really interesting when Jesus came down and did a couple rounds, too, just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't want to show everybody up in the competition.
Well,
but, just like...
One 500-footer.
Yeah.
Just to let him know who's boss.
It's Target Field. He hits one to St. Paul. Yeah. Just showing you I can. See you in 13 years.
Wait, did he say 13 years? Did he say 13 years? Do we know? Is that going to be a thing now? Yeah.
And then he just comes back down for one more second. He's just like, oh, by the way, Derek Jeter, you're so fucking classy. Thanks, JC.
Yeah. And on that note...
All right, Jeter, I'll see you in 10 years.
All right.
Wait, Jesus, how's Derek Jeter going to die? Crushed under a mound of supermodels.
God, that'd be a death.
Fucking classy death. It's the classiest death I've ever heard.
All right,
Jeter, we should all be so lucky.
Anyway, so as always, you've been listening to the Oh the Anthem podcast. We are part of the Oh the Anthem digital network. We do appreciate your listens. You can find us online. You can find me anywhere, Twitter, Tumblr, everywhere. Robert N. Cheek, except for Facebook. There, it's Rob Cheek Esquire. That's Rob Cheek ESQ. And please continue to check out ADeadDrop, ADEADDROP.com.
Rob can spell.
For all the most interesting content that you're going to find online. You can also send emails to ADeadDropper, ADEADDROPPER @gmail.com.
Nice.
And feel free to send us content. If you find something you haven't seen on the site, send it in, and we'll post it. We'll get it up. So,
and OhTheAnthem.com, Cory at OhTheAnthem.com, at OhTheAnthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Vimeo. And I forgot to mention it last week, so I feel like we have to do it this week for sure. Especially if you have an awesome trade idea. This would be a great thing for the voicemail.
Yeah.
Or a text message. We can take text. So just
send a text.
Do whatever. 443-219-7595 is the listener line.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595.
And don't forget, our theme song contest is still underway. You have a couple more weeks to get it in. Big thank you to everybody who's reached out to us about it. And we're looking forward to seeing all of your submissions.
Locking ourselves in a room and listening to music. And
Doing that whole thing.
Dropping acid.
Hopefully nothing that intense. I can't even. Next week we should talk about our conversation.
Going to Joshua Tree.
At 30, we're like, oh my God, we're going to smoke some pot tonight. There's a time in my life where it was just an assumption that something might happen. I would be drinking or something.
There's going to be a party. There's going to be a party this weekend.
So we're dropping acid, right? That's what's going to happen? No, but now it's like, wow, everything's planned out. It's like, hey, something different's happening. Anyway, so what are we talking about next week?
I think we're going to touch on gambling since we're going to be either on our way to or at a casino-like area.
Yep, so just a little conversation.
Seems like the thing to do.
It's something that Maryland has come into recently, and I mean, also it's birthday week for good friend of the show,
Shanny.
Hey,
Shanny Drunk Shadow.
So, we're going to celebrate that. So we'll touch on that.
She was on the podcast for the music episode, if you don't remember.
And hopefully she'll be on next week for her birthday episode.
Yeah. So we can make old maid jokes right to her face.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what women like.
The dried up eggs.
Yeah.
Those eggs have been on the shelf a little too long. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Let's save up all the best ones for next week, just so.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah. All right. So anyway,
don't waste good material now.
So thanks again.
Be like Jeter. Save it for game time.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Again, Oh the Anthem podcast on the Oh the Anthem digital network. For Cory, this is Rob. Have a great.
For Cory, fuck you.
No, we're not doing it.